Welcome back to the show. We got another great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. But you can also join us in the Freedom Zone. Go to underneath any title of any video, click the join button, or come down here in the description box, click more, and join us either in YouTube or the Patreon for next to nothing, less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month. I'm telling you, we're talking less than 12 cups of coffee per month for the year. All the daily videos, zero Google ads. It's worth the price of admission in and of itself. And then you have all the extra content. And today we're going to be getting into, oh boy, woke versus the left. The fight gets real. And China is squealing on these tariffs. You got to hear where they're going now. We're going to get into all of it, no question about it. But right now, let's start into this. It is $2.8 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 0.9%. Bitcoin 85,100 plus, Ethereum 1,600 plus, XRP 216, and we see that we're up 20.3 and just moments ago 21.6% on the 7-day, even though we're off 0.9 to 1%. Range of price is between 209 and 218. We'll keep an eye on it. Listen, here's the breaking news right here. How long have you waited? How long have you waited to find a broker or an exchange, a crypto platform that has human being customer service? Well, look no further because it gets even better. It's Caleb and Brown. The link is under this video and you're going to want to click it and sign it because they're going to put your worries to rest. That's exactly right. This is what DAI and myself have been waiting for. We've watched this company for 3 years. We confirmed that they have institutional grade custody with Fireblocks. We've confirmed that they have a human rep you can pick up a phone and talk to. It's unheard of. And they've completely eliminated the fear of losing my assets or struggling with self-custody. You know, if you've ever been confused about whether you've been hacked or somebody's contacted you and you're not sure it's from the platform or not, how about picking up the phone and calling your rep? Hey, did you want me? Right? Or was that a scam? Right? No more. How about it? I'm not sure how to set my market orders correctly or not. Pick up the phone and call your rep. This is what we're talking about. We're finally seeing a company like Caleb and Brown start to mirror the traditional perks and advantages of the traditional market, and they're bringing it to us in the digital asset space. Click the link below, get started. It is amazing, and they are off to the races. I don't mind telling you, the response has been overwhelming. Here, listen to Chris Giancarlo here. He's sitting on stage with Stuart Alderati from Ripple's chief legal officer here. And we will have Chris at XRP Las Vegas. Did you get your ticket yet? Listen, we will not have them on sale forever. The numbers are getting crazy. You're going to want to get your ticket. Oh, my goodness. Listen to this, and let's bring him in right here. I think it was about this mark right here. Take a listen.
So crypto really was quite challenging to these dominant philosophies. When I took up my baton at the CFTC in 2014, I discerned amongst political players in Washington real differences of opinion on what crypto was and what it meant that were more, I would say, all over the place. And that continued during the first Trump administration, Trump 45, during my tenure as chairman of the CFTC. We were able to launch Bitcoin futures, really not just the United States' first fully regulated market for crypto, but the world's first fully regulated market for any type of crypto product, in that case, digital commodity derivatives, without a lot of overt hostility. Crypto really became political, I think, during the Biden administration. At first, there was a growing divide between what I would say Democrats like Elizabeth Warren, who didn't reflect all of her party, but certainly reflected that view that said, we want to keep political control on this. And we've worked hard to get political control. we're certainly not going to give it up to a bunch of 20-year-olds in cargo shorts and hoodies that are crypto bros. And more free market types continue to hold, well, this is a new innovation that we should pursue. But it really became political after Sam Bankman-Fried. That's where it became a R versus D thing. Sam Bankman-Fried really embarrassed the political class, more on the left because that's where his overt money was going, even though there was a lot going to the right side of the aisle as well. That was more covert. And so therefore the philosophy became the best defense against our hypocrisy on this will be a good offense. Let's attack it. And that was really leadership like Elizabeth Warren and others, and Gary Gensler became their tool to do it. And what I saw quite clearly over the last 2 years of the Biden administration was a wholesale effort to destroy crypto in its tracks. And some of the techniques used were outrageous. I mean, we talk about presidencies that go outside norms. The norms that the CFTC broke in the last 2 years are really quite shocking, to the point where a federal court found the SEC to have lied to the court and sanctioned them for doing that. I mean, that is, I had one of my staffers look back. We couldn't find that it ever happened ever in the history of the SEC. Now, maybe it happened back in 50 years ago, but that's how bad things had gotten in terms of hostility. And in fact, that hostility turned out to be a total detriment to the party in the last election. So they had gone outside the norms and the pendulum forced things back. And now we're in a different era. And I'll just end on this note. The turbulence hasn't ended. The hostility has ended. But now we're in a vortex. We have an administration that's moving at startup speed in terms of implementing executive orders, moving forward on legislation. I fully expect we'll have stablecoin legislation on the president's desk and signed by the August recess. And I think there's a very good chance we'll have crypto legislation by the end of the year or early next year, certainly by the midterms. And there's a lot going on there. The stablecoin legislation certainly needs a lot of attention. The crypto legislation does. So there's a lot of moving pieces going on right now. And we'll talk more about that. But we've been through a lot in the political realm over the last decade or so.
No question about it. Great words from the Honorable Cristian Carlo. Will be on stage at XRP Las Vegas with me in a fireside chat. You're not going to want to miss it. I can tell you that. This guy is so sharp. And here, what do we see? Ray Dalio warns of a looming systemic crisis. Markets reel from rising yields, tariff uncertainty, and a weakening dollar, which could impact crypto. I say a U.S. dollar down, crypto goes up. You know how it works. The dollar index is down. It usually correlates, inverse correlation, and crypto goes up. But after legislative clarity, we can expect a change in this dynamic for some digital assets. XRP in a basket of assets will underpin the U.S. dollar in the future, and that will shatter the Dixie crypto paradigm, I believe. It's reported, by the way, that Chinese government has offloaded $50 billion worth of U.S. Treasury bonds and placed a limit on future purchases of U.S. dollar bonds from their banks. And is reportedly that a non-buyer is purchasing European bonds instead. China acting like the petulant child. We know. This is a great conversation about China wanting to dump the U.S. Treasuries from Daniela Cambone on ITM Trading. Take a listen here to this quick clip.
Could you see China saying, okay, U.S., we're going to dump our treasuries and we're going to dump our U.S. dollars? Then what?
Who cares? I mean, seriously, who are they going to dump their treasuries to? They're going to sell it to somebody. We're not buying them. So is Russia going to buy them? Japan? Somebody in the world has to buy those treasuries. This is the exorbitant privilege of being the world's reserve currency. And it's the one thing that I think it's one of the things I think Trump is putting in danger. We have the exorbitant privilege of getting stuff from the rest of the world. Nike shoes, t-shirts, chips, whatever. And they take our dollars. I mean, Trump says we don't export anything. Yes, we do. We export dollars. Now, we also export more than we ever have. We manufacture more than we ever have. But we export dollars, and they get those dollars, and they've got to do something with them. Typically, they ended up at a central bank, and the central bank ends up buying treasuries. But a lot of times it ends up in people's hands. They say, we want to buy your stocks. Part of the reason, 19% at the beginning of this year, 19% of our stock market was owned by foreigners. You think they're not pulling their money out? That's part of the reason we're having the crash, because they're losing confidence. They're not certain of what's going to happen. And if you're an investor and you're facing uncertainty, what you do, you pull back, you stop, maybe you move. There are other places that look less uncertain. And so I'm not worried about China saying, we're going to dump your dollars. To who?
Okay.
You know what's interesting about that is that she goes on to ask him, well, what if they say they're dumping the treasuries to go to gold? And then he brings up the point again, but who's going to take the U.S. treasuries? Here's the part that I think is missing from this conversation. It's a great conversation, but there is a missing component. Stablecoins. See, he's not wrong. But the reality is that companies like Ripple and other private issuers, after stablecoin legislation, will buy the U.S. bonds China and others don't want from around the world. And guess what? It will have a better supported use case for the U.S. dollar as a world reserve currency than the petrodollar currently does now. And I am happy to discuss with Daniela Cambone if the impacts on gold and precious metals. I think it's a great conversation. If she'd like to have it, I'd be honored to. But what's it going to take? It's going to take us getting that legislation that Christian Carlo was talking about and that Senator Tim Scott says we will have passed by August and signed into law.
Very quickly, the Genius Act, focusing on the crypto world. That's how you get things done. It's passed through my committee in a bipartisan fashion. Next, market structure on its way to be heard in the committee, marked up, and I believe passed into law by August.
By August. There you have it. That's the goal. That's the timeline. Now, look at this. Argentine stablecoin market surge after economy minister ends currency controls. Trading volumes on local exchanges like Lemon jump 100%. It's being received very well, basically, right? Stable coins and central bank digital currencies are the vehicles on the new digital on-chain economy highway. And that's where you're going to find all this possibility to make these new pairings for assets like a bridge asset like XRP. Oh, it's coming, and it's coming in a big way. But let's talk now and hear from Binance founder CZ, who's going to tell you about the impact of artificial intelligence with crypto and how artificial intelligence is not going to be fiat currency. It's going to use crypto and at the very least, digital dollars like stable coins.
So I think AI is a technology that came after blockchain, right? So we have the internet, we have blockchain, now we have AI. If you think about AI, the currency AI is going to use is not going to be fiat currencies. It's not, they're not going to go through banks. They're not going to swipe a card. They're going to use cryptocurrencies.
You're mentioning AI agents?
AI agents, right? So I think very soon we're going to be in a world with many, many different AI agents. Everyone will have a personal agent. You'll say, look, hey, help me book a flight ticket. Help me book a flight hotel. Flight or hotel. The AI agent will talk to a booking agent to book it, and they're going to transact in cryptocurrencies. At least they're going to use the blockchain technology. It's going to be so much faster, so much cheaper, so much less middlemen, so much less delays. You're going to be able to confirm your reservation within half a second. So all of that stuff is coming. So AI is going to leverage all the tech that blockchain offers, and they're going to leverage this new money technology.
There's no question about it. I think he's absolutely spot on. And imagine you having your own artificial intelligence agent to take care of these tasks for you while you continue to do other things while it is working for you. That is coming in short order. And actually, you can start doing that now. No question about that. Ripple equals new Wall Street. Yeah, I think they got that right.
Store value, and I think that other cryptos including XRP, have a use case, a legitimate use case. I think XRP's is a wonderful working model. I think that it's only going to get better. They made an acquisition today where I believe they bought a prime broker, and that's really big news because that means there'll be almost instantaneous settlement across all asset classes inside that prime broker. It'll be a wonderful start to the new Wall Street, that's based.
Did you hear what he said?
Across all asset classes.
Instantaneous settlement across all asset classes inside
that prime broker.
Inside that prime broker. All asset classes.
It'll be a wonderful start to the new Wall Street, that's based on blockchain that moves really quickly. No more 3 days for wire transfers. We're gonna have instant money, and that's good.
Yeah, and
for the new Ripple equals the new Wall Street. And what do we know? Ripple just basically told everyone that the XRP ledger will be the new home for the derivatives market, derivatives clearing futures and options. And I say, Ripple acquiring Hidden Road actually reveals the open door to the derivatives market. And Ripple is starting with $3 trillion in settlement, $10 billion a day. This is more than just cross-border payments. Lock in. That's exactly right. I'm reminded of Kendra Hill, the anonymous person in this space that would talk a lot about how this wasn't about cross-border, this was about derivatives, and understanding how large the derivatives market is. It makes sense that Ripple would be in this market using XRP in the ledger for settlement, because this is where all the world's liquidity is locked up. And once you tokenize it on the XRP ledger, we're to Mufasa. Write it down. SBI confirms the latest acquisition and highlights its impact on real USD. They break down everything that I just said, but it's Yoshitaka Katao and SBI. This is amazing how excited they are also. And this is also about the use of real USD in this acquisition and how it will be the first stablecoin to facilitate efficient cross-margining between crypto and traditional assets. This functionality will bolster real USD's role as a suitable enterprise-grade USD-backed stablecoin. Yeah. And don't forget, that $3 trillion annually is more than 300 global financial institutions, top global financial institutions. This is a remarkable acquisition, and I think it shows greatly where we're going. And this is the look of the Bitcoin maxi when they're like, uh-oh, I'm not really sure what to make of all this. They even said we were faking it. Well, guess what? We're not faking it. You're faking it, Bitcoin maxi. And it's all over that face of yours right there. You've been reading the wrong material. Yeah, you've been on the hype train. Ripple's been on the get things done with the financial institutions train. And you're just figuring it out and having trouble digesting it. But we're not. We've been here. We've been waiting for this moment. And in his eyes, he's trying to figure out, wait, how does Bitcoin stay number one if we have $1.6 trillion market cap, but they're about to settle $3 trillion a year on the XRP ledger? Things that make you go, And it's only going to get bigger. 700 trillion is the global financial derivatives market. The question isn't for us if. It's not even when. This is happening right now. This is already happening right now. Jack the Rippler says Grok confirms that if the XRP ledger captures 10% of Hidden Road's volume, the price would be $28.55. If XRP ledger handles $3 trillion in annual settlements with XRP as the bridge asset, a velocity of 10% supply lockup, and strong sentiment XRP's price could hypothetically rise to $28.55. This is an exciting time for all of us, and I hope they get all the legislation passed by August and signed, and I hope we don't have to go into the new year as Cristian Carlo referenced. But you know what? Long as we get it before the next round of elections, because we don't want to see it stalled in any way, shape, or form. It's not financial advice from me or anyone else. We are going into the Freedom Zone. I hope you will join us, and I hope you go to that website, xrpwealth589.com, and sign up for Caleb and Brown and get your human customer rep. And no more of the email chain and the wait. The time is like 6 weeks for a response. It's over. Caleb and Brown, it's institutional custody and a customer service rep. It's incredible. You won't believe how good it feels. We're going inside right now. Let's get started. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. All right.